as y'all know, I went to the Gervonta Davis versus Hector Garcia fight. And I seen the commotion that was going on the side of the ring. Everybody seen it because the fight was stopped. Okay, so during that time, well, before that time, Gary Russell went live. I see on his IG or wherever he was on, he went live just to diss Gervonta Davis and disrespect what was going on in his fight and everything. So basically, Gary Russell did what he's been doing for the last 5 years. He just did it again. Said the exact same thing that he said over and over again every year. It's the same line. He can't mess with me. You better keep him away from me. I see why they didn't want him to fight me. Those are the same 3 lines that he's been using for the last 5 years. The only difference is that he finally came to a fight, which he says he doesn't watch fights. That's why he don't go to fights, because he doesn't watch fights. There's footage all over the YouTube about him with him contradicting himself left and right during interviews by himself. It doesn't matter, okay? But this has been going on for a while. You have a group of people saying that Gary's been calling them out as if it's justified and something should happen. And then you have another group of people like myself. But for everybody, I'm going to do what he did. I'm going to repeat the same thing that I've been saying for the last 5 years, just like he did, okay? With a little pizzazz. Now, like I said, I've been making videos about Gary for a minute. This is one right here, 5 years ago. This is another 4 years ago. And like I said, I'm not a fan of Gary, so I don't make a lot of videos about him. Here's one 3 years ago. Have you noticed that none of these has anything to do with him fighting somebody? Here's another one 3 years ago. Here's another video 3 years ago. Okay? Here's one a year ago that I took a clip from my live. Here's another video a year ago. So 2 or 3 of these videos is simply me just detracting something that somebody wrote in my comment section. And here's another one from 11 months ago. If you go back and look at any of them footage or any of them videos, I'm firing on all cylinders, okay? This man has been doing the same thing for the last 5 years. I have been right for the last 5 years, okay? All of them videos, I made a video about him once a year. That 3 years ago, I did that because just like I said, people kept trying to go back and forth with me saying I didn't have any proof of this, that, and the third. So I made videos with the proof in it. Okay? But let's move on. This is Gary Russell's record right now. Gary Allen Russell Jr. He's 31-2 with 18 knockouts. Okay? Gary Russell first loss was by Lomachenko. All right, Lomachenko was 1-1, as you can see at the bottom of the screen. You see the red majority decision. That means Gary Russell lost that fight in 2014 versus a 1-1. Only had 2 professional fights, Lomachenko. And if you can see this screen right here, he was complaining about what his weight was, and him and Lomachenko weighed in the same amount. And the fight before that, Gary was overweight, 126 3/4 or something like that. That's what he fought at. Now, he had one fight after he fought Lomachenko, and his fight with Loma was for a title, okay? He lost that fight. He fought this dude, Chris, in 2014, and not even 12 months after losing his first loss for a title, he had another title shot. Bruh. Johnny Gonzalez is the only champion Gary Russell ever fought in his entire 13 years and some change of being a pro, yo. Johnny Gonzalez. The man was 57-8 when they fought each other. That's not no typo. This box rec. He had 57 wins and 8 losses and already was stopped 2-3 times before he even fought Gary Russell. Gary Russell was young at that time. He was young. This the rest of Gary Russell's resume after winning that title, if you can see on the screen, was 5 fights long, yo. He fought Johnny Gonzalez and got the WBC in 2015 and fought 5 people since then. It's 2023, yo. And he always talked about he's the longest reigning champion. Bro, I bet you are the longest reigning champion. You and Bud got something in common. You just talk, you don't sign to fight. You don't fight. Like, anybody can be the champ as long as, however they want, if they don't fight nobody. Let's just dive into that. Before he lost, because his sixth fight, that's when he lost against Mark Masayo. He fought King Tug in 2020 and then fought Mark Masayo in 2022 and lost. For the second time. Lost the one thing that was giving him a little bit of credibility. The one thing that was giving him a little bit of space and opportunity to talk the way he was talking. And that's that WBC Spanish title that he loves so dearly to his heart. And he said that title gonna switch through everybody's hands till it get back to his. So if he ever comes back because his shoulder's injured, if it ever gets healed, if he ever comes back, he's still going to be fighting at 126 pounds. While he sit there and call out Gervonta Davis that's fought at 130, 135, and 140. While he call out Adrian Broner. While he call out Terrence Crawford at 147. While he call out Devin Haney at 135, about to be 140. While he said all of this shit about fighters that's not in his weight class. I haven't heard him call out somebody from 126 since Leo Santa Cruz was at 126. Holler if you hear me. But yes, believe it. This guy right here on the screen, Johnny Gonzalez, is Gary Russell's claim to fame. He's his claim to the WBC. He's the claim to the longest reigning champion. He's the claim to that short dude from DC that think he can beat up everybody, including Wilder out this joint. This guy don't have no limit to the stuff that comes out of his mouth. And the crazy thing is, grown men that's on YouTube that made videos that talk about him, bruh, they're talking a positive way about him. If y'all met somebody the size of Gary Russell that was dissing you, you wouldn't even take him serious. You would probably slap him in the next week, slap him to sleep, slap him to a hole, put a hole in the concrete. You would disrespect somebody his size. Let's just be honest. When people talk about how somebody can be grown at small weight classes, Gary Russell's in his late 30s out this joint, fighting at 126 pounds since he was a teen. Probably 150, 118 or something since he was a teen. You've been little. You still little. You gonna die little. No disrespect when I said that. But facts. Like, bruh, I don't know too many people that would take somebody his size seriously. And that's where the little man complex comes from. And when he claimed that he can just slap everybody but don't want to fight him. So his arm is good enough to slap a mofo right now, like he said to Chris Cobra, but he didn't want to spar him. But his arm, with it being broke, is good enough to beat Gervonta Davis. This is ridiculous, bro. You can't make none of this stuff up. All the stuff that he said on that live, when he was live ringside, you was live ringside at Gervonta Davis fight for what? This ain't the first time he fought in DC, but this the first time you came out. You just can't take it. You're not a champion no more. You basically inactive. You're about to be. I looked up your box rec. You suspended. I mean, come on now. You're hurt. I know your feelings is hurt. Yes, he sold out in your set. I'm not gonna say yours because you don't run shit in DC. Yeah, he sold out in DC. Yes, he sold out in DC like he sell out everywhere. And what? Old man named Johnny Gonzalez, bro. Johnny Gonzalez has been more active than Gary Russell's entire career. Johnny Gonzalez has been more active than Gary since he lost his title to Gary. This man's still fighting Mexico. Look at his record. Bruh, he's 69-12-1. He's fought over 10, 15 times since he lost that belt to Gary. Gary fought 5-6 times, bruh. He fought 6 times. The person who took the title from, everybody is more active than this man, bruh. Yes, let's look at the stats. The man got 82 bouts under his belt. He has 446 rounds, knockout 68.29% out this been pro forever. Out this 41 years old Mexican, 5'6.5" with a 69-inch reach. Of course you beat him up. Of course you did. Gary was 27 years old, yo. 27 years old after losing to a 1-1 Lomachenko in 2014. And at the time, Gary was 24-0 when he lost to Lomachenko. He was 25-1 when he fought Gonzalez. Gonzalez was an old man, damn near. He was like 36, 35 years old. Fighting a young, ready, game Gary Russell that just got spanked by Lomachenko 2 fights ago. Come on now. And he was already stopped 2-3 times. Get out of here, man. When he lost to Lomachenko, he got yet another title shot 2 fights after that, not even 12 months after that. You entitled. I know you feel entitled. That's why you keep talking. Man. After all of that, man, for real, Gary whole professional career, man. All right, seriously. Everyone Gary ever stopped as a professional either was in their 30s or never made it to 10 fights as a professional. They had like 7 fights and called it quits and never fought again. I'm being dead serious. This whole video I'm being 100% serious. This man Gary Russell only stopped people that was old as shit or wasn't supposed to be fighting anyway. You only stopped people that had only 10 fights in their career or less than 10. You beat up people that had 2 fights, 3 fights, 8 fights, 9 fights. Those are people you stopped. And the people that was 38, 39, 37, 35, them the only people that this man stopped, yo. Everybody talk about Tank don't fight black people. If you go down, technically, to the beginning of his career, he did fight black people. Now, try to find the black person Gary fought in his career. At 126 pounds, there's not that many people down there that's African American. It's not that many people down there that has skills like that. Same thing with 130 pounds. I'm giving out the equal amount of hate that people give out to Gervonta Davis. And when it comes to Gary Russell, he's been giving out the most and did the less. I don't care about that WBC belt. The people that own it don't even care about Gary Russell. The people that made that belt don't even want him to have it. I don't care nothing about no Gary Russell. I'm sorry. I don't care nothing about no Johnny Gonzalez. I don't care nothing about him, yo. He's an old man that already been stopped, got a lot of fights on his belt that fought mainly in Mexico. He came over here to get beat up. Gary Russell beat him up. He went back to Mexico, still fighting. That's it. Like, bro, you want to talk about people that needs to be quick and needs to be like, bro, who did you fight that was fast like that? Who'd you fight that was like that for real? Like, you fought King Tug, had a little bit of speed. Your next fight you lost. You don't have no title. You can't say I'm the longest reigning champion. And he wasn't even right when he was saying it, because Deontay Wilder was the longest reigning champion. Every time he said it until Deontay Wilder lost his title. And he still had his from lack of fighting. Gary Russell is 38 years old right now, and he's 5'4" with a 64-inch reach, man. Gary only fought 3 undefeated fighters his entire career. King Tug was 11-0. Jojo Diaz was 26-0. And his second pro fight against a nobody was 1-0 and 1-0-1 out this bitch. Yeah, 1 win, 0 losses, and 1 draw. She had 2 fights. Hell, even Loma had a loss when he fought him. Gary is in the PBC with Al Heyman. That's who he's signed up with. That's his promotional company, as well as his other 2 brothers, Gary Antoine and Gary Antonio, I believe his name. Yeah, Antonio. They're all signed with PBC, okay? So why is it Gary allowed them to sign with him? You know what I'm saying? Because Gary said that Al Heyman and PBC is the reason why he didn't get fights at 126 pounds. And allowing all his brothers to sign with Al Heyman and PBC after knowing and telling the world on YouTube a couple different times that PBC and Al Heyman is the reason why he don't get certain fights. And actually, he blamed them on the reason why the man fight once a year. Okay? Gary said the WBC gonna move me around people's hands until it gets back. It's gonna move that WBC around people's hands until it gets back to my hands. And after losing his title in January 22nd by unanimous decision last year, 2022. The beginning of the year, he lost his title. All right, lost his title January 22nd, and he was out January 7th, 2023, shitting on Tank Davis fight. A year after. Mark is ranked number 3. The guy he lost to. Isaac Dogbo is ranked number 2, and Brandon Figueroa is ranked number 1. In my opinion, Brandon is going to beat you, Gary. You're not going to get the WBC title again. You're not going to get it. I don't think you can beat Brandon Figueroa. Okay, I just don't. But let's look at Gary's resume. Okay, the only champion that he ever faced on Gary's little resume. All right, the only champion that he got the title from, like I said, was Johnny Gonzalez. Now, when you think of Johnny Gonzalez, how many people do you think could have beat Johnny Gonzalez? I know y'all ain't never seen him fight. Just look at his record. And Gary stopped him in what, 4 rounds or something? Like, bro, Gary don't even stop people. I'm trying to tell you, the only people we stop is somebody that's has-beens or somebody that shouldn't be. Shouldn't be and has-beens. Those are the people he stops. Johnny was 34 years old when they fought each other, all right? Like I said, he already been dropped 3 times. Already been stopped, 3 times. Gary was the 4th. And he dropped him like 3 times during the fight. And I got all of these pictures in the background because it is so many people that's fans of Gary Russell that said Gary didn't get hit to fight. All right, I got multiple pictures shown in the background of shots of Gary's face messed up from punches landed on his face from Mark Masayo. Now, if anybody wants to say, well, he won that fight, but he didn't say Tank beat Isaac, right? So is it cool that people say he didn't beat Mark? Man, you threw the same punch over and over again. I understand you only had one hand, but you can throw 3 different punches with a hand. You know what I mean? You got a jab, which is called a streak. You got a hook. You got an uppercut. He didn't do nothing but throw the brick straight and doubled up on it and moved around the ring. It wasn't entertaining. Like when I seen Tank hurt his power hand, and the fight was still entertaining. Around the same rounds that you re-injured your shoulder or whatever. And mind you, he said this was an injury. He said his shoulder injury that happened with Mark Masayo is an injury he had since the amateurs, yo. Like the stuff that this man say just don't quit. It just don't. But I had fun. I wanted to say a lot in this video, and I did. I had fun. Just like he did. Every time, matter of fact, he has fun every time he talk about Tank is fun. It's fun. All right, so we should have fun with Gary and talk about him. Like, it's only right? People say, yo, Kambosos, and I was one of them, still saying that. Kambosos is a C-level fighter. He didn't really belong in the ring with, like, that's a tune-up fight. He's a soft touch when it comes to Devin Haney. Like, bruh, for Devin to get undisputed from fighting him is trash. Okay, but it's still undisputed. Gary Russell's been talking all this trash, then defended his title 5 times, a 6-time loss, and he got it from Johnny Gonzalez. Somebody that already had 50-some losses, already been stopped 3 times, and an old man. Gary was very young. I'm just saying, if we put Gary or half of these fighters under the same microscope that we put Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, and Gervonta Davis, hell, Earl Spence, Wilder, you put Gary under the same microscope and dissect his resume, the stuff that he's saying, go back and listen to the videos, bruh. It's no reason why anybody should be a fan of Gary Russell, yo. Gary Antoine is the goods. In my opinion, Gary Allen Russell Jr. has never been the goods. In my opinion, it's not one fight that I've watched of his that I was entertained by. If I can touch on this situation with him and Meek Mills with the altercation at the fight, yo, just like I said, Gary and his entourage came there to hate on the fight. He didn't go live the entire time there besides the main event. He came there strictly to hate. You can tell. So you and your family, your brothers want to be part of Tank's success so bad. You came there to hate, saying hateful shit, and then ended with my family over here trying to coach him. Okay, so do y'all want him to win or not? What are you talking about? And then you're going to say keep him away from me, and you've been inside in a straitjacket with a padded room for 13 years, bro. You ain't going to leave out the small old man weight class? But you just keep talking about 5 people that's better than you, 5 people that sell more than you, 5 people that did more than you in the sport, that's in different weight classes, bigger than you. That's what you do. Meek Mills is a big supporter of Tank. I believe he rapped about Tank. Or I think walked him out one time before. He did all of that. So you mean to tell me he gonna argue with another Tank fan? Bruh, you was there to be disruptive. Gary Russell been capped for 5 years straight. He's a clout chaser. He's an opportunist. It's been like that. You ever met some loudmouth person that think they're important, so when some people come around them that's more important than them, they start an altercation just for people can talk about Meek Mills and him in the same sentence? That's Gary Russell. That's why he attaches his name to everybody, because he ain't shit. He has no relevance. This man want to be a comedian. He want to be liked more than a fighter. This man talk more than anything. Y'all can fall for it. Y'all can like it. Y'all can respect it. I never have. I don't talk about people I don't like. That's why I got a handful of videos in the last 5 years of this dude. I don't like him. What fight was entertaining? What fight was entertaining that he had? Which one? Which one? And I bet you whatever you say was entertaining because of the other fighter, not because of his ass, bruh. I like to see fast hands on people with size. You talking about fast hands on somebody 5'4" with them short arms, bro? That's not entertaining to me. It's entertaining to y'all. That shit is not the business, okay? And another person with fast hands and fast feet, beat him. Lomachenko. Beat him. People can say whatever they want about a fight. You got to get in there. A lot of good fighters would tell you, I don't know until we get in there and see. You know what I'm saying? These two men never sparred each other. He don't know. Gary ain't never got hit by nothing hard. Nothing. That boy gets knocked out 10 times out of 10. Gary gets stopped by Tank. Always like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.